Hello students and welcome once again. Today we are going to do a comprehension. Now take out your textbook and open to page number 74 and also your notebooks. Now comprehension reading is when you are given a paragraph or a passage. You have to read it carefully, then answer the questions. Now, these kind of topics or these kind of questions are usually asked in exams. So you have to understand it from now because this type of questions will come till 10th standard. So if you know how to read from now, you won't have a problem in the higher classes. Okay? So let's get started without wasting any more time. Oliver was 9-year-old boy. Now, here we are talking about a character or a person whose name was Oliver. His age was 9, right? Now, he lived with other homeless boys in an orphanage. What is homeless? Homeless means someone who does not have a place to live. That is known as homeless. Orphanage, what do we know what's an orphanage? Orphanage is a place where children who do not have parents live. That's an orphanage. An orphan is a child who does not have any parents. So there was a 9-year-old boy whose name was Oliver. He lived with other homeless boys in an orphanage. He was pale and thin, as were the other boys living there. Now, he was very thin and he was pale. Pale means the skin color had gone so white because of hunger. He was very thin and very hungry. This was because they had to work hard but were never given enough to eat. Now, they used to work hard a lot, but they were not given enough food to eat. So that is very bad. Yes, life in orphanage is not that good. Now, he was not treated well. Not only him, all the boys with him, they used to work so hard. They used to work every time, but food was very limited to them. The owner of the orphanage, Mr. Bumble, was a cruel man. The owner, whose name was Mr. Bumble, was not a good man. He was a bad person. And he ill treated the boys. He did not treat them well. He did not like them. Maybe he hated kids. That's why. Or he had his own reasons. He was very bad and he treated them very badly. The boys were always hungry because they were not given enough to eat. So every time they are hungry. It was true that they were given 3 meals a day. It is true, they were given food 3 times a day. But each meal consists only of a bowl of watery soup. 3 times you are only given watery soup. Now, water is not going to feed you properly. It can stop your hunger, right? So they were given food 3 times a day, but it was just watery soup. They were almost starving. It was like they were not even eating anything. So it was decided by them to ask the master for more soup. So they had decided we should at least ask them to please give us a little bit more. But who would bail the cat? Now here, who would bail the cat is a phrase. It means who will say this? Who will be brave enough to talk to them? Finally, the task fell on Oliver. Now, after deciding for so long, they decided that Oliver should tell. He should ask for more soup, not us. When all the boys had assembled in the cold stone hall for their evening meal, the soup was served. Now, in the evening, where all the boys in the orphanage were gathered, that is, assembled means to be gathered, in that old stone hall, in the evening for food, soup was served again. It soon disappeared because it was so less you could just drink it and finished. The boys whispered to one another and one boy pushed Oliver a little. Now they started talking. Hey, Oliver, go. You should go and ask for more food. Go, go. Now they were whispering so slowly. Whispering means to talk very lightly. So, and they were talking and they pushed Oliver. Go, go, Oliver, go. Oliver, making a brave effort, he tried to brave himself. Like, yes, I should ask. It is not good. I should ask. Stood up, walked up to the master with his bowl and spoon in his hand. So he went to the master with a bowl and spoon in his hand and said tremblingly means, please don't hit me. Oh, I'm so scared. He was very scared, but he was, sir, please, I want some more. And he was scared and he said, sir, please, can I get some more? Now, let's understand the whole story. In summary, Oliver was an orphan at 9. He used to live in an orphanage with other boys. Now, this place was not that good. They used to work hard and used to get very less to eat. The owner, Mr. Bumble, was a very bad person. The boys were always hungry. Yes, they were given 3 meals a day, but it was just watery soup. And they were starving. So one day they all decided that we should tell the master to give us a little more food. And this task was given to Oliver. And when they went in the evening for dinner, the boys started talking. Go, Oliver, you should go. And bravely, Oliver went to ask for more soup. राइट तो मैं आपको ये स्टोरी या फिर ये कॉम्प्रहेंशन आपको हिंदी में समझाती हूँ. ओलिवर एक 9 साल का बच्चा है जिसके पेरेंट्स नहीं है, इसीलिए वो ऑर्फनेज में रह रहा था जहाँ होमलेस बॉयज़ रहते हैं, जिनका घर नहीं होता वो वहाँ रहते हैं. अब वो बहुत पतला था और आप उसकी स्किन देखो तो बिल्कुल मेल नरिश थी, मतलब ऐसा लग रहा था वो खाता नहीं था ठीक से. अब वहाँ उनको खाने के लिए बहुत कम मिलता था और मेहनत बहुत ज़्यादा करते थे वो लोग. उनके जो ओनर थे ये ऑर्फनेज के, मिस्टर बम्बल, वो अच्छे आदमी नहीं थे. तो एक दिन बच्चों ने डिसाइड किया कि हम हमारे मास्टर को बोलेंगे कि हमें और ज़्यादा खाना दें. वहाँ पे उनको 3 टाइम खाना तो मिलता था, पर खाने के नाम पे क्या मिलता था? पानी जैसा सूप और कुछ नहीं. तो एक दिन वो सब उन लोगों ने डिसाइड तो कर लिया कि हाँ हम मांगेंगे, पर कौन जाएगा? ओलिवर. सब लोग हॉल में इकट्ठा हुए और वहाँ उनको खाना मिला. खाना खाने के बाद सब लोग बोलने लगे कि ओलिवर जाओ जाओ, और ओलिवर थोड़ा ब्रेव होके वहाँ जाता है और मास्टर से कहता है, प्लीज़ सर मुझे थोड़ा और खाना दीजिए. यही है हमारा कॉम्प्रहेंशन. अब इसके हम क्वेश्चन आंसर करते हैं, ठीक है. फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज व्हाई डिड ओलिवर लिव इन अ ऑर्फनेज? ओलिवर ऑर्फनेज में क्यों रहता था? ओलिवर लिव्ड इन एन ऑर्फनेज बिकॉज ही वॉज होमलेस. उसके पास कोई घर नहीं था, इसलिए यहाँ पे क्या आएगा? ही वॉज होमलेस. ठीक है, तो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन का आंसर तो हमें मिल गया. अब नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, हु वॉज मिस्टर बम्बल? मिस्टर बम्बल कौन थे? ये सारे क्वेश्चन और इसके आंसर आपको नोटबुक में लिखने हैं, ठीक है. ये रहा सेकंड क्वेश्चन है, हु वॉज मिस्टर बम्बल? मिस्टर बम्बल कौन थे? मिस्टर बम्बल वॉज द ओनर ऑफ द ऑर्फनेज. ये अनाथ आश्रम के मालिक थे, ठीक है. नाउ थर्ड क्वेश्चन क्या है? व्हाट मील वर द बॉयज गिवन? ये बॉयज को कौन सा खाना मिलता था हर रोज? द बॉयज वर ओनली गिवन वाटरी सूप. इन द नेम ऑफ फूड दे वर ओनली गिवन वाटर, दैट इज soupy, or soup that is in form of water. Now the next question is, what did Oliver say to Mr. Bumble? So one day Oliver decided to be brave because it was given a task to him to be brave and ask for more. So he went and asked. Oliver said to Mr. Bumble, "Please, sir, I want some more. Please, sir, I want some more soup." Now, in the fifth question, you are given the boys were given 3 meals a day. Then why were they always hungry? They were given food 3 times a day. Then why were they hungry? We are given 3 options. First option is because the soup they were given was never enough. The food that was given was not enough. Second, because they worked very hard all day long. Is it because they worked so hard they were always hungry? That's not true. Third option is because the older boys drank up their soup. That is also not true. What was true? The soup they were given was never enough. You cannot give someone a small bowl of watery soup and expect them to be full, right? Next, on page number 75, we are given, find the words from the passage that mean the same as very hungry to vanish, from second paragraph and third paragraph. Now we are also given a hint from where we should find that word. So here we are given very hungry, it means starving. To vanish means to disappear. That is given in the textbook, right? Now, the 7th question is, all the boys assembled in the in the cold stone hall. Here the word assemble means, what does assemble means? To move away, to get away from that place, collected, to come together or work together. So assemble means to be collected, to come together. Now, next is, from the word assembled, remove the last 2 letters. Add 1 letter to make a word which means a time at the school when the whole school gathers. So, from assemble we have to make a word that means where the whole school gathers, that is assembly, right? Now, the last question for this comprehension is, give a suitable title to the passage. Now, there can be many titles. You can think of it and also write. I think the one I can give you an option as is Hungry Boy. Or we can say Life of Oliver in Orphanage. Or the situation in orphanage. So it's up to you what you want to give the title of this comprehension. Now, we have completed the comprehension. We have still few things to do that we will do in our next video. For today, you have to understand the comprehension and write its question answers in your notebook. And the ones which have options, you can tick them in your textbook. I hope you have understood. If you have any doubts, you can see the video again or you can ask me. I want you to complete this homework before 10 a.m. tomorrow. That's all for today. Bye-bye.